Hey, what is going on, guys? It's DK. Back at you with another video here to bring the two-game NFL main slate on Monday. Before I get into the video, if you guys are new to the channel, my name's DK. I make daily videos breaking down NBA, NFL, PGA, and esports daily fantasy sports slates. Real quick before we get into the video, I do want to say thank you guys again for all support in the YouTube comment section, on Twitter, and in the live streams. I really do appreciate it, guys. The easiest way to support me with all the content being free is just leave a like button on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you know when I upload videos, you know when I go live. Also, if you guys cannot watch the YouTube videos, I upload an Apple Podcast. The link is in the description below, which is the DK DFS show. But with that out of the way, let's jump in the video. So before I talk about players and their prices for Monday's two-game slate, and this is, it was supposed to only be a showdown slate, obviously, on Monday, but the whole news with Cam Newton getting COVID crazy, that game being pushed back a bit. Now we have a two-game slate, and we have a Millie Maker, too. I think it's a $10 entry? $10 or $20 entry. I guess I could see right here. Let's see. $10 entry, $1 million to first. So, yeah, really excited about it. We got two nice games. I think the latter with Atlanta and Green Bay probably is a little bit more upside. But both games should be fun to watch, even with no Cam Newton there on the Patriots. But yeah, let's take a look at these numbers here. So with no Newton, obviously the line moved in favor of the Chiefs. It's now a 50 over under. The Chiefs are favored by 11 points here. Falcons Packers is a 57 over under. 57. Packers are 7-point favorites. So there's going to be a lot of points scored in this one. A lot of different ways you can go. People price very fairly. So let's jump into it. We'll start a quarterback today. And Mahomes at the top at 7-6. This is a tricky one because if we're not considering the matchup, obviously Mahomes has the most upside out of these quarterbacks. But, going up against the Patriots, it's not like the Patriots like a really tough matchup. It's just no Cam Newton. It worries me with the Chiefs. And are they really going to put the foot on the gas pedal the whole game? Or are maybe in the second half, maybe they go to the ground and pound, right, to eat clock. I'm a little bit worried that New England is not going to be able to score enough points to make Kansas City continue to have to score a bunch of points. That is the only concern with Mahomes. Again, he is, if we're not considering the matchup, he's the guy that has the most upside. He's the guy that can get it done on the ground. 30 and 43 fantasy points the last couple games. So, no real issue if you want to go Mahomes. Aaron Rodgers and Matt Ryan, I think, look a little bit better to me for the matchup, right? It's almost a 60 over-under. Both quarterbacks have been playing well, and both quarterbacks have been airing it out. This Atlanta defense is absolutely terrible. Should have DAVANTE Adams back too for Aaron Rodgers, which is a plus. I think he makes a really nice play here at 7K in this matchup. I do like Matt Ryan too at 6-2. I think those are the two quarterback plays that really look good. Obviously, Mahomes. My only concern with Mahomes is just, can New England score enough points? But, Matt Ryan is going to have to air it out here. 54, 36, and 38 pass attempts to the first three games here. Again, Green Bay has not really been amazing defensively either. This one is closing in 60 points for the over-under. So those quarterbacks look great. All the receivers look to be coming back for both teams, well, with Adams and with Julio, Ridley, Russell Gage on the other side. So, finally, we have Brian Hoyer at the min price, 5K for quarterback at least. I'm just not going to consider him. He could have a decent game. It's not like he's a terrible quarterback. It's just, will the savings from him off of like Matt Ryan or Rodgers or Mahomes be enough to keep it close? I don't think it will be. I just think the upside of Matt Ryan, Aaron Rodgers, and Mahomes is like through the roof on this two-game slate. So Hoyer's a guy that I'm just not going to get to. If you need him for salary relief, fine. But, yeah, I'm just not going to do it. So that's kind of my thoughts with quarterback. Obviously, the top three guys are the guys I'm considering. I'm kind of leaning towards Rodgers and Ryan just because I'm a little bit worried that New England can't score enough points. But that, again, that is my own concern with Mahomes. So let's move on to running back. Aaron Jones at 7-3. So, like I said, great matchup here against Atlanta. He's a good pass-rushing back, too. 6, 8, and 4 targets to the last 3 games. The one downside of Aaron Jones is they still have Jamal Williams, and they like giving the ball to Jamal Williams. It's about a 70-30 split right now for the snaps. But Aaron Jones is obviously the guy that has the more upside. 16, 18, and 16 carries. We'll probably get around 20 touches. Again, he had that one enormous game week 2 there against Detroit. 7-3 is a fair price. I think the upside on some of these receivers might be a little bit higher, and they are a little bit cheaper. But, running back is a little bit thin. If you just look at running back in general, you have Jones, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Gurley, and then the Patriots running backs. So I think the wide receivers it's at least for me, it's shaping up to probably be, use a wide receiver there in the flex. But, with running back being thin, I think Aaron Jones makes for a good play there at 7-3. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I really like at 6-2. Again, I mentioned, can the Patriots score enough points for the Chiefs to really put the foot on the gas pedal? Well, it won't hurt Edwards-Helaire either way. If they are playing from say they're playing from a 14-point lead, well, they'll give the ball more to Clyde Edwards-Helaire on the ground. If it's a close game, he can get targeted through the air. So, really, really do like Clyde Edwards-Helaire here at 6-2. I think he makes for a really safe play at his price. Probably my favorite running back play for this slate. Gurley at 5-5. It's all about how do you think this game plays out, right? The Falcons are 7-point dogs. If they do fall behind early, they could phase him out a bit. He's not really getting utilized a whole lot in the passing game. Brian Hill's been playing well as the backup running back. Again, I'm fine with Gurley, but I'm not going to really prioritize him when you have, if you just go over a wide receiver, you have Julio Jones at almost the same price. You have Julian Edelman for less. It's just I don't know. I'm not going to prioritize Todd Gurley at his price. The New England running back situation is interesting here. James White is now back in the mix. He is the guy that I do prefer if you're going to make him pick one of the backs. So I think Burkhead still does get some work, but he will go way down from his workload the last few games here with no James White. Both of them are good pass-catching backs, but yeah, I would slightly give the edge there to White. But it is tricky, just because New England will utilize 3 or 4 running backs here. But if I was going to take a shot on one, I think it would be James White at that price point. But that's really I don't think I'm going to consider Brian Hill. Again, Jamal Williams probably going to get 30% of snaps. Is it necessary? I don't think so on the slate, right? Playing the back of running backs, I just don't think we have to do it. Right, if you're making 150 lineups, sure, you can throw some back running backs in there, but I'm not really going to prioritize them for a single entry guy like myself. That's why, I'm not going to consider Sony Michel. So really for me, running back, I think it's Clyde Edwards-Helaire being my favorite play, then Aaron Jones. Gurley's fine if you want to get to him, and then, if I was going to pick a running back for New England, it probably would be James White, but I still think they utilize Burkhead. They'll probably utilize, Michel there a bit too. So let's talk about wide receiver. And wide receiver is just loaded. The prices are really, really fair. Davante Adams at $7K in going up against Atlanta, it's just way, way, way too cheap. Sure, right? He's dealing with a hamstring injury. Obviously a little bit concerning, but he has practiced the last 3 days. I think he is one of the top plays of the slate. Again, not really contrarian take it all there, but really, really do like Davante Adams in this matchup. Also, really like the Atlanta receivers. Again, both Ridley and Julio have been banged up. But both should be good to go here. Ridley has been absolutely insane the last 3 weeks here. 12, 10, and 13 targets. Julio missed the last game. Had a disappointing game there against Dallas. What was a little bit banged up with a hamstring injury, but the first game, 12 targets, 9 catches. I really do like both Atlanta receivers. You guys can kind of see where I'm trending on the slate, right? It's just these receivers are just too cheap. So love Adams. Love both the top Atlanta receivers. and a pass-heavy offense. Tyreek Hill, I think is going to be a little bit more of a contrarian option, but he has that big play upside, 6'11", and 6 targets the first 3 games. He can break the slate any single time he's out there, so have no issue if this is the direction you want to go. If you want to pair him with Mahomes, think that is going to be a little bit of a lower-owned stack on this 2-game slate. But again, anything can happen, and the upside here on Tyreek Hill. So have absolutely no issue if that's the direction you want to go. Julian Edelman is going to be low-owned just because look who's around him, right? Julio, Ridley, Adams, Tyreek Hill. So I do kind of like Edelman as a contrarian play. This is a game the Patriots should be playing from behind. Brian Hoyer is obviously a downgrade from Newton, but he's not a terrible quarterback. Edelman out of the slot, I just think he flies under the radar in this slate, so is an intriguing play, but there are a couple other cheap Patriots receivers I do like as well with Bird and Harry we'll get to. So I think, again, Edelman more of a contrarian play in the slate. MVS makes for an interesting value option. No Lazard. Again, Davante Adams questionable, but I assume he's going to go, so MVS should probably be the number 2 receiver. Hasn't really been great. Has had 6, 7, 4 targets. He is going to be lower owned, but he will be the number 2 receiver, and the matchup's great. If you can't get to Davante Adams, or you want to go like the full Packer stack, so you want to go Aaron Rodgers and pair him with both receivers, I have no issue with that either. Russell Gage at 4 or 5 got banged up, concussion last game, but looks like he's going to be back for this one. I mean, he's been getting a ton of snaps. Again, Atlanta loves running 3 wide receiver sets. He had 12 and 9 targets the first couple games. If you can't get to Julio or Ridley, I'm fine saving some money with Gage. I think he's a perfectly fine option for a cheap wide receiver here. I do prefer getting up to Julio and Ridley if you can, but if you need a cheap play, I think Russell Gage is not going to kill you there at the price. The other two, I'm not going to consider Hardman. Only played about 40% of the snaps last game. Did have a touchdown, but just not playing enough snaps for me to feel confident about that. Sammy Watkins played actually the most snaps for wide receiver for Kansas City. Had 8 targets, 7 catches. He's just always an up and down guy, right? 21-2 and 13 fantasy points. We saw it last year, the big game 1, and then it's kind of downhill. Then a couple big games there at the end. 4-3 is a dual price. My concern is the same thing I mentioned with the other Chiefs. With Mahomes, with Tyreek Hill, I'll mention with Kelsey too. Can the Patriots score enough where the Chiefs really have to put the foot on the gas pedal? That is the concern there. N'Keal Harry and Bird. So these are the two really cheap receivers that I do like. 3-9 and 3-6. New England, they just should be playing from behind, right? 11-point dogs. They should have to air it out. I like the price points on both these guys with Harry, with Bird. Don't really have a strong take on who I prefer. Bird's going to get a little bit more snaps. Harry's usually a little bit more productive with his snaps, but I think both look good at under 4K for salary relief. Zacchaeus is not a guy I'm going to look to. Looks like, again, all 3 of those Atlanta receivers are back. Robinson will probably get 50% of the snaps, but I just don't think we have to do it. Sure, he can get a long touchdown. Again, if you're making like 150 lineups, you can consider guys like this, but for single entry, I'm probably not going to do it. And I think it's going to be Shepard that will be the number 3 receiver here for Green Bay. He is the flat min. Again, that's like a sleeper play, right? A super risky play, but it looks like with no Lazard, he probably will be the number 3 receiver. Again, that's assuming Adams plays. But that's really it for wide receivers. So let's talk about tight end. So tight end, it's Kelsey way at the top, and a couple cheap, guys with Hurst and Tanyan are viable, but that's really it. So Kelsey at 6'5". Same thing I'll mention with Mahomes, Hill, Watkins. Can New England score enough points? He's obviously the most talented tight end on the slate. 6.5K, though. You are going to have to pay a premium. And is he necessary when you have guys like Davante Adams, Calvin Ridley, Julio Jones at a similar price? I don't think I'm going to prioritize Kelsey. That doesn't make him out of play, though. Right? So he's obviously the best tight end on the slate, but you already have to pay a premium for him. Then we get to the 2 cheaper options with Hurst and Tanyan. I think both look good for the prices, and this is probably the direction that I'm going. I'm leaning towards spending down a bit on tight end, whether it be Hurst or Tanyan. Haven't really made my mind up yet. Both are the number 1 tight ends for the teams. Again, both this one should be a shootout. So no real issue with either Tanyan or Hurst. If you maybe pick, I think I would slightly prefer Hurst. I think he is a little bit of a better pass-catching tight end than Tanyan, but both guys are certainly in play here. If you want to consider the backup tight ends, you can with like Sternberger, but I'm not going to do it. Ryan Izzo is the starting tight end for New England, but not really a great pass catching tight end, so he's not someone I'm really considering on this slate. Finally, defense. So with the Chiefs at the top at 4K, I think they are the safest option going up in this backup quarterback, but are they 100% necessary? I don't think you have to play them. I guess it is tricky, right? Because like I don't really want to play either the Falcons or the Packers or the Falcons defense, but I probably would rank it Chiefs 1 and then the Patriots defense 2 at 2-6, right? Hopefully, if you do play the Patriots defense, hopefully they just don't kill you. Maybe they get you like 2 fancy points. Again, obviously the Chiefs are the safest defense on the slate. Don't really feel good about playing the Packers or the Falcons defense. If it would make me pick between a defense in that game, I would go the Packers. So I guess I'd rank them Chiefs, then Patriots, Packers, Falcons. But Chiefs are the safest option and probably the way that I think a majority of people will go on this slate. But yeah, I think that's going to do it for the video today, guys. So if you have been enjoying the content so far, I'd really appreciate it if you leave a like button on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you know when I upload videos, you know when I go live. I will be live streaming for this 2-game slate, 30 minutes for lock, guys, so be sure to check the live stream. I'll go over everything and answer any questions you guys have. Again, really, really exciting that we have another Million Maker here. If you guys are going to try to win this solo, obviously you're going to have to get unique, whether that be take a shot on someone really cheap or leave salary on the table, right? So I'll talk about that more, though, in my live stream tomorrow. Again, make sure to check out the live stream. Thanks again, guys. Hope you guys have a good day, and I will see you all tomorrow in the